Welcome once again, everyone, to the Book Mind channel, where we do deep dive conversations on famous English books and the ideas they contain. And today, we are tackling some really fascinating source material. It's a framework that, well, it reframes relationships entirely, not as some search for perfection, but more as a journey of personal growth.
Right. We're diving into excerpts from Susan M. Campbell's 1980 classic, The Couple's Journey, Intimacy as a Path to Wholeness.
Yeah, a classic for a reason.
Definitely. And this material, it's just perfect for you, the curious learner, because it gives you this clear map 5 stages that you can immediately use to analyze pretty much any relationship dynamic, your own ones you see.
It gives you that perspective.
Exactly. And a crucial perspective, too. It helps you see why conflict, often it's a sign of progress, maybe difficult progress, but not necessarily failure.
Okay, so before we unpack those 5 stages, just a quick reminder. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the Book Mind channel so you never miss another deep dive.
Good point.
So our mission today is to really distill Campbell's core framework. We want to pull out the most powerful insights about why couples seem to move through these cycles.
Yeah.
Love, then conflict, then maybe conscious choice.
Yeah, understanding.
Look, relationships aren't just about romance. They are a growth process, a journey toward wholeness.
Wholeness.
Yeah.
Both for the partners individually and for the sort of collective us.
Precisely. And what's really interesting is how intimacy gets defined here. It's framed as this journey of healing and self-realization.
Not just closeness, but something deeper.
Much deeper. It's not about finding someone to complete you. It's more like the relationship is a mirror showing you where you need to grow within yourself. There's a really powerful quote in the source material about this.
Oh, yeah?
It says something like, "My love for myself and my love for my partner are 2 inseparable parts of a whole."
Wow, okay, that immediately sets up something far more complex than just happily ever after. It suggests the work is internal as much as external.
Exactly. The relationship becomes the crucible, you could say.
Right. So if that's the goal, this wholeness, let's look at the journey itself. It starts, naturally enough, in stage 1.
Stage 1, romance, or as Campbell calls it, the fusion stage.
Ah, the honeymoon phase.
That's it. Infatuation, idealization, merging, the feeling, we're one, we're perfect together. And critically, differences are either ignored or actively suppressed.
You just don't see them. Or maybe you choose not to.
Pretty much. And the big hurdle here, the obstacle, is actually recognizing that this ideal fantasy, well, it can't last. It's not sustainable.
Reality has to kick in eventually.
It has to, because you're not really seeing the person. You're seeing this idealized answer to your own, maybe unconscious needs.
And when that reality does intrude,
Duh.
boom, we hit stage 2.
Stage 2, the power struggle. Campbell calls it the turning mirror.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, maybe a bit painful for people listening. Those differences you ignored, they start showing up. And that mirror turns.
Right. It goes from we're perfect to, wait, you're not who I thought you were. And that leads to conflict, disappointment, resentment even.
And you start trying to change the other person back into that stage 1 ideal.
Exactly. That's the core dynamic. Constant attempts to change the partner often leads to these dominant submission patterns or just endless arguments.
It sounds exhausting. But Campbell argues this conflict is necessary, not just like bad relationship vibes.
Necessary and inevitable, yeah. Avoiding it, trying to stay in that fake harmony of stage 1 that actually traps couples, according to Campbell. The conflict, if handled right, is what pushes you towards differentiation.
Differentiation, meaning seeing yourselves as separate individuals again.
Yes, recognizing and owning your individual needs and feelings separate from your partner's. The conflict forces that, ideally. Destructive conflict tries to control the other person. Necessary conflict pushes for that separation and self-awareness.
Okay, so the main obstacle here in stage 2 is letting go of the illusion. The illusion that harmony just happens or that your partner will change to fit your fantasy.
That's the crux of it. You have to stop trying to change them and start managing your own reactions and needs.
So the fight itself isn't the failure sign. It's the transition out of fantasy. Hard, but necessary.
Absolutely. And if, and it's a big if, a couple navigates this, they move into stage 3, stability.
Stability. Okay, that sounds like a relief after the power struggle.
Yeah.
What does this stage look like?
It's calmer. The intensity drops. There's more acceptance of yourself and your partner, flaws and all. You start setting clearer boundaries.
Boundaries. So it's less about being merged, that us as one thing from stage 1.
Right. It shifts more to an acknowledged individuality. It's you plus me, distinct people choosing to be together.
And this is where that idea of differentiation really comes into play, isn't it? It's the skill you kind of build here.
Exactly. Differentiation is key. It's basically the ability to stay connected to your partner emotionally, but without losing your own sense of self, your own thoughts, your own feelings.
So if your partner's upset, you don't automatically absorb it or feel responsible for fixing it immediately.
Precisely. You can hold on to your own center while still having empathy. It's about maintaining self while in connection. The boundaries in stage 3 are sort of the external signs of that internal differentiation.
Makes sense. But Campbell mentions a danger here too, right? Stability isn't the final destination.
No, there is a specific danger: boredom,
Hmm.
or just drifting apart. If the growth stops, if you just settle into peaceful coexistence without continuing that individual work, the relationship can stagnate.
So the challenge shifts from managing conflict to what actively nurturing connection and individuality.
Yeah, honoring the differences you now accept, but also finding ways to keep the dynamic alive, keep growing individually. Otherwise, yeah, boredom or separation can set in.
Interesting. So feeling bored might not mean the love is gone, but
Huh.
that maybe the differentiation work needs to reigniting. You have
Okay.
to actively value the differences, not just tolerate them.
That's a great way to put it. And that kind of deeper valuing leads into stage 4, commitment.
Commitment. Now, this isn't just deciding not to break up. It's something more profound in this model.
Much more. It's a conscious choice. It's really internalizing. I choose you. Knowing everything I know now, the good, the bad, the differences, I consciously choose this relationship. It's not based on the stage 1 fantasy anymore.
It's commitment to the real person and the real relationship.
Yes. And it requires real awareness. Campbell talks about balancing things here: love and freedom, belonging and individuality, even power and fun. It's about bringing both whole selves into the relationship, consciously.
Choosing the journey, not
Sure.
just hoping for a perfect destination.
That's it. And when you have that solid, conscious commitment as a foundation, the relationship can then naturally expand outward.
Which brings us to stage 5.
Stage 5, co-creation.
Yeah. Here, the focus shifts. It moves beyond just the internal dynamic of the couple.
So what does that look like?
The couple becomes more like a team, engaged with the world together. It could be projects, raising kids with a shared vision, community involvement, building a business, some kind of shared purpose that looks outward.
That sounds like a really positive, mature stage, the partnership making an impact.
It is. But like all stages, it has its own potential pitfall.
Oh. Even at stage 5, what's the obstacle here?
It's subtle. It's the risk of losing the we, the intimate connection. By focusing too much on the outward task, the relationship itself can become sort of transactional, all about the project or the kids,
Right.
and you forget to nurture the actual pair bond.
So you still need to tend to the internal relationship garden even when you're building something outside it. You have to keep revisiting the connection built in stages 3 and 4. Exactly. You need to keep feeding the relationship itself, not just use it as a platform for the external stuff.
Okay, that maps out the whole 5-stage journey beautifully, from illusion to potentially shared purpose. Let's try to synthesize this. What are the absolute must-know takeaways for anyone listening and thinking about their own relationships?
Okay, first one, maybe the most important.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't strictly linear. It's not like climbing a ladder and you're done. Campbell describes it as more of a spiral.
A spiral, meaning you might revisit earlier stages.
Yeah, couples can definitely loop back, especially under stress. You know, a big life change happens, new baby, job loss, moving, and suddenly you might feel like you're back in a power struggle dynamic for a bit.
That's actually really reassuring. It normalizes things. You're not failing if you have an argument that feels like stage 2 again.
Right. It means the goal isn't just to get to stage 5 and stay there. It's more about building the skills and awareness to navigate the whole spiral more effectively each time.
Okay, that's takeaway 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's a spiral, not a ladder. What's next?
Second big takeaway: view the challenges, the conflicts, the difficult bits as potential opportunities for transformation, not just signs of failure.
So shifting the perspective on the hard stuff.
Exactly. If you recognize, say, okay, wow, we are really in a power struggle right now, the knowledge itself is useful. The next step isn't just blaming your partner, it's asking, okay, what projection am I putting onto them? What need inside me isn't being met or acknowledged?
That completely reframes it. It brings the focus back to your own growth, which links back to that idea of wholeness.
It does. And that leads straight into the third key application, which is maybe the most practical.
Okay.
Focus on growing the self within the container of the relationship. This means, really, doing that work of differentiation we talked about. Accepting your own needs, learning to state them clearly, those boundaries again, and separating your emotional reality from your partner's while staying connected.
So differentiation is kind of the engine that moves you forward, especially at a stage 2.
You could definitely see it that way. It's the work that allows you to move from trying to control the other person to accepting reality and focusing on your own growth. And that self-growth ultimately is the path to wholeness that Campbell's talking about. That's the real journey.
Wow. Okay, so you start seeking perfection outside, endure the messy work of differentiation inside, and hopefully find wholeness within yourself through the process.
Right.
That was, yeah, an incredibly insightful deep dive into Campbell's stages.
I really hope this framework gives you, our listeners, a new lens, a way to maybe view your own relationship journey and perhaps normalize some of the struggles that honestly come with any real deep connection.
Yeah, that path to wholeness is rarely easy, but hopefully rewarding.
Indeed.
Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive. And before we sign off, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Bookmind channel. We genuinely love hearing your thoughts.
We do.
And speaking of thoughts, here's one for you to ponder. Thinking about Campbell's stages, which one do you think is the hardest for couples to successfully navigate out of, and why? Is it getting past the initial powerful illusion of romance, or is it surviving and growing through the painful friction of the power struggle?
Good question.
Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Thank you again for joining us. We look forward to exploring the next book with you.